Hey guys, I'm not gonna just go on an intro. The only reason why I'm talking about this or doing a video like this at all is just because I haven't posted in forever, right? Not to sound like the almighty gravitas or now goes by traversing, but I think everyone obviously has their reasons as to why they don't post that much at all or why they haven't really worked on it or anything like that. There's typically a lot of artists that have that kind of situation in life, and unfortunately, I'm no different. Um, I guess I'll go on about the reason why I haven't posted on both my previous account and this account, even though I had made a video on making this account. So, I guess starting off, I've been really busy with work, obviously, now that I'm a full-time employee. I know the first time I was actually into making videos was when I was 15, 16. All of a sudden, I'm 20 with a job, paying taxes and debt, hospital bills, all these things. In the blink of an eye, I obviously feel very frustrated with situations like this and the fact that I'm in it in the first place. And actively, I've been giving myself not really the benefit of the doubt. I've been actually really hard on myself to pay off these debts, to, I guess, help myself and persevere and, I guess, convince myself to post more and to do more, right? But obviously, with everything that happens during work, with what friends are going through, with the state of the world right now, the fucking president, the president's friends, all these things, they really bring a great depression into your mind. So far this year, for the past 7 months, I've planned to release some songs, some music, some art piece, some video, some anything, and I have made no progress. Um, Not even close. Not even close. And in like the blink of an eye, I remember like it was yesterday that I had this all planned out, and I have gotten nowhere near far. I haven't really had fun this year. But I guess I'll stop going on multiple directions, or maybe not, and I'll continue on one. So obviously, depression nowadays is really bad. Depression in general is bad, but nowadays it feels like the depression really lurks. You're not really happy unless you've made it in life, and making it in life means you have a lot of money, means you have the ability to be there for yourself and for your friends while also being comfortable. But nowadays, there's a lot of people being there for themselves and their friends, or their friends, but still not comfortable and struggling overall with no luck whatsoever, with only bad things coming right after and right after and right after. And it's just unfortunate to see because I do look at other people's lives and I do really admire how far they've made it. But when you know them a little more, or when you know them a lot more, you understand internally they are really, really struggling. And it breaks my heart. Nonetheless, it breaks my heart, as it should anyone else, I feel. Um, and all you can do is hope. And when you do help, you can absolutely help with them. But obviously, helping screws you over. You know, um, I had this conversation with my friend one time, quite recently actually, and we brought up the gift of giving, right? Now, I have a lot of friends who are financially struggling, whether they can't have a job or can't get a job, can't find a job, or rent is being hard to pay off, or they have all these medical bills that they're struggling with, their cars, all these things that can happen. And I guess from my perspective, all I do is give. I give, I've given to my ex girlfriend, to my other ex girlfriend. Um, to a lot of my ex friends, to a lot of my current friends. A lot of these people, I kind of give myself away for, and I guess in this topic, an ex girlfriend is like a good thing to mention, um, because my ex girlfriend would constantly tell me that she would pay me back. That she would tell me that it's just a temporary loan, and any gift I give her, she'll totally recompensate, me back for. If that makes sense at all. I can't really speak English right now, but that was just a promise that she gave me, right? Um, the promise didn't really go far. We ended up breaking up a couple months later, and of course, I've gotten reimbursed nothing. Um, and I don't work the greatest paying job in the world, so I actively put myself out and I put myself in a situation just to support her, even if it wasn't to support her because she wasn't really struggling. It was just to make her happy because a lot of the money I gave her she used for gifts. It wasn't for emergencies or anything that stresses her out. It was just for gifts. I would give money to friends who had emergencies. You know, my friend who hasn't had anything to eat in a week, or my friend whose car needed gas, or any of these issues. I would just give them money. But her, I really prioritized just because she had the title of my girlfriend. And we would just drag each other. Or I wouldn't say drag each other out, but she for sure prolonged our social ability. Like we did not spend any time with each other, and I was upset about that. And eventually, after a lot of talks regarding it, I had to break off the relationship. And I asked her to pay me back, or at least give me a couple gifts that I gave her. I bought her these $300 Meta glasses, which I want Meta glasses, all that stuff. But or money, or at least the $200 because I given her about a grand and 300. Just and half of it was supposed to be paid back, and I just wanted a quarter of it. I just wanted 200 of the however much money I got her or gave her, and I got zero, right? And she does not text me. She does not. It seems like she wants nothing to do with me. It's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and honestly, I think about this situation a lot. It really fucks with me. Now, I guess where the money thing comes in is I should not be upset that I gave her. I have every reason to be upset over the fact that I gave her the money, but her not paying me back, I should not be upset over, considering it was meant to be a gift in my part. You know, in my part, I still did it, and I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, don't worry about it. It's always a gift from my heart. Whether it's temperance, whether it's for the moment, whether it's long term, it's something that I know I gave with heart and mind. With good intention in mind. Um, and with that being said, I again I had this conversation with my friend, and we went over we should not give loans, but we should give gifts. Give presents and things to cherish over, and money can be a gift. It's not to say that you're supposed to buy someone an apple or a teddy bear and give it to them and say, oh, that's how much I should give you. No, money can be a gift, but don't expect anything back. You shouldn't expect anything back. And depending on the situation and the situation I was put in with my ex-girlfriend, um, I honestly, as I said just now, I should not be upset, but I am upset. I think it's just deceivance and lying to me, and it really does break my heart. There's no other way I could see myself not being, I guess, correctional about it. But, anyways, it's not even necessarily like I want the money to buy myself a drum set or whatever I could ever want. It's more so to support myself because I'm in a really, really terrible financial situation, like everybody else in our generation is. Again, there's a lot of my friends struggling to pay rent, trying to get by on a constant basis, or even struggling to eat, struggling to find a job, paying basically over their paycheck and being in debt to pay off the rent. It happens a lot. And the complete way of life, the way people make money now, is not the same way people used to make money back then. Obviously, there's a bunch of ways you could start investing. You could start, you know, a bunch of plans. But it's super inconsistent and inconvenient for a lot of people that this is the way of life, that we have to rely on what could and couldn't happen. I constantly get upset about it because one day I don't want to, again, okay, excuse me. for being this deep in a financial situation, I cannot just give more of my money away to a company that I don't know could or could not fail. And then I'll be in even more debt. Uh, for the moment, it's really stressful. It's really stressful, and I don't understand how I guess people are okay with this. There's a lot of things I can say about this that I just can't go through my mind because my mind is really blank right now. I can't speak English properly right now, so I guess going forth. So again, I guess from everything I've explained with the money situation and exes and everything like that, I've been overall depressed. A lot of people have been depressed. I think I've seen a lot of my friends really go through it nowadays, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I've had the will and the want to post. I have so many ideas to write down for stories or for music or for anything like that, and nothing comes up. Nothing comes up because I just don't work on it. And I'm hoping at some point in the future or even like soon, I grow out of this stage. I'm really hoping I can spend more time with friends and overall get by the situations that I have going on. I have been on some adventures recently, really fun adventures, but they don't seem to work 100% of the time. My car I was supposed to have 2 years ago still doesn't run. I'm gonna hope it runs by Wednesday, because that's my payday, and even though my paycheck will be halved over all the bills I have to pay, I can only hope that things can benefit from there. If I can use my car to make any kind of money, that'll be the move for sure. Um, but that doesn't come obviously without perseverance, and this is where I guess I can use to combat my depression. For the past couple of months, I would just come up with ideas. Oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool, and just not work on it. Period. You know, I just recently, maybe 2 months ago, bought a bass guitar, and I've played electric for a little over a year now. Um, and while I love music, it kind of drugged me out because it kind of was like, while I can get this skill, why would I need it if I'm kind of this sad? And what I would do is lay in bed and doom scroll and bed rot, or even go on YouTube and smoke weed and stuff like that. I would just be frustrated with myself over my constant, I guess, habits, my terrible trash habits. Um, but recently I've been super into, actually playing. Like I've been neglecting video games and actually playing my music, or not my music, but playing my instruments and having fun with it and experimenting. I've had a huge wake up call these past couple of days, honestly, weeks, sort of. Especially in regards to love, especially in regards to self love, most of all. And I guess this motivation I have for both of my instruments, my electric guitar and my bass guitar, I want this motivation for my stories, for my job, but potentially future jobs, for my way of making money, and for my friends, and for the love for myself. The love for my friends and the love for myself. Um, and most of all, my creative aspects. Um, I've honestly been in my head about language. I know I bring up English a lot because I suck at talking with it. See, see, I told you. But it's just I feel like art is a way better language than any other language that exists. I feel like pictures and music and drawings and animations and whatever that people can come up with and create speak way louder than just words or a book. Or well, a book kind of counts, but just words or the way someone talks or a politician, all of that doesn't matter to me. But a painting will speak 1,000 different stories to me. A book will have several different messages in it that give me bigger insight in the world. A song will sound beautiful to me and completely mesmerize my way of life. Completely change my perspective. And direct my music taste into something more meaningful, and that's what's happened for the past 2 years. Um, and I feel like it can happen to anyone. It's happening right now to someone that some art form is speaking to someone in volumes that they have never seen before, and that's at least what I want to go for in life. I've made countless mistakes. I've made countless mistakes, and I feel like the only way I could really make it up is if I had benefited people and at least inspired them to not make the same mistakes I did. And not only that, but inspire them to be the best that they can be. Um, and that's all I really can say as for myself. Sorry, I just tapped on my arm. That's all I really can say about myself, or what I want to do. I really wish I could go in, but it's hard when you're talking to yourself. It's hard when you don't really have anyone to talk to. Or if you have someone to talk to, just not understand your wavelength, not understand where you're coming from or your language or anything like that. Um, it was not my plan to write this. I just stood up and got down and started talking about it. So here I am. I guess moving on, I talked about creativity. I talked about a lot. I guess where I'm going to go with the future of this, I am not going to lie. I loved Modern Warfare 2019. The search and destroy mode was a lot of fun for me, and just overall brought great memories. And while I know I'm grown, I know that life is not the same, and that future games and future anything will not be the same. I do want to play search and destroy, for Modern Warfare 4. Now, I don't have a PS5. I don't have an Xbox. I don't see. I tried to play Black Ops 2 on PC. It just wasn't it for me. It felt really janky, and there was a lot of hackers, at least for me. And I don't really have any plans to get a PlayStation 5 until GTA 6 releases. And even then, I doubt I would do videos on that whatsoever. I think that would just be a game I would play. But I am excited for it nonetheless. It's just I'm not even sure if I would get it. I'm not even sure if I could afford a PS5 by then. But, or I would much rather have, obviously GTA 6 on a disc, assuming that it's on disc before anything. But nonetheless, as I was saying, I want to play video games with friends, and I want to post me playing video games with friends because it's a lot of fun. Um, I want to. I don't even know what other games I would play, but there's hundreds of other options. Little Big Planet, I have great memories with. I do want to play that game again, and I would love to, share it and whatnot. Um, and more, just more. At least for games. For videos, for actual content, I feel I have a lot of adventures that I would love to go on with a lot of good people, with a lot of great friends. Um, all of which are very honest, great people. I hope are honest, great people, and I honestly love them to death. And I'm hoping that if at some point, if on another channel, maybe not this one, I'll post whatever adventures I go on then and there, and it'll be honestly an enjoyable experience because I know a lot of people in our generation, Generation Z, by the way, but in Gen Z, a lot of people are out, you know, urbexing and exploring and adventures, overall adventures. And I love those kinds of vibes. I've been on my first adventure maybe a month ago, and it was an experience for sure. I've never done this before, and for the first time, I'm in a, I can't even describe it, but just a completely different environment, completely quiet, obviously very scary, very eerie. Like a tunnel, basically, like a huge long tunnel that's graffiti on the wall and everything. It's a really great experience. Now, obviously, don't commit crimes. Don't vandalize anything or whatnot. But those adventures are really fun, just to say the least. And I'm really hoping again that I'll be able to post that experience and post those videos, or go on those, at least go on those experiences way more in life. Um, and I know I'm stuttering a lot in this video and saying and and whatever. I don't think I'm gonna edit it out, just so you understand that I'm just completely honest with what I'm saying. Uh, but I hope my point is across at least with what I want to say. Um, it isn't in my intention to leave people, I guess, slacking, and I know nobody knows about this account necessarily. I know nobody really is sure about this account. However, I I hope to be known to inspire people to be their greatest someday. Whether it's whether it's what they think internally or what they want to do for the world or what they want to do with their friends or for their friends or for their family or most importantly for themselves or second most importantly obviously as I said for the world. Um I believe every person has talent that is hidden, hidden from within, and that if their talent never gets shown to the light of day, this world will never be as bright as it should be. I know that is a quote for something. I just don't remember what the quote was. So, whatnot. But I won't drag you guys for too long. This is the first video for Zzysx. Um, I'm gonna put some random gameplay footage here. I'm still debating on what game I will post. Um, but I'll get it figured out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and great rest of your days. And I will see you guys next time, whenever that may be. Goodbye.